on WMCT News, a look at current coronavirus numbers in Marlboro and the multiple new regulations Governor Baker put into place to get cases throughout the state back to a downward trend. Welcome back to WMCT News. I'm Megan Parsons. In the last 2 weeks, Governor Baker made major changes to current coronavirus guidelines. These changes followed an increase in cases in multiple communities across the Commonwealth. Here's a look at those changes and the current coronavirus numbers in the city of Marlboro. Health professionals warned of a second surge in coronavirus cases if guidelines weren't followed.
Some residents to feel a bit too relaxed about the seriousness of this virus.
And as some started soaking up the sun and fun in the last month of summer, cases in Massachusetts started to rise again. Addressing the concerning number of cases, Governor Baker made big changes to gathering regulations.
The new executive order that I'm signing today will reduce the limit on outdoor gatherings from 100 to 50 people.
The indoor limit remains at 25.
Folks attending outdoor gatherings must ensure that guests maintain 6 feet of social distance and face coverings are required.
This applies to all types of gatherings on both public and private properties. He also announced that establishments can only serve alcohol if accompanied by food made on site.
Bars are closed in Massachusetts, and bars masquerading as restaurants also need to be closed.
And the state just released a color-coded map that tracks the number of cases in towns and cities. Marlboro labeled yellow for moderate, meaning the city sees 4 to 8 positive cases for every 100,000 tests. Marlboro saw active cases reach 36 this week, the highest they've been in a month. The city also reported its first coronavirus death since early July, bringing the total now to 66. In Marlboro, Megan Parsons, WMCT News. Coupled with new gathering regulations, the state also implemented a new travel order. Massachusetts now requires all visitors and returning residents to fill out a travel form. After arriving, travelers must quarantine for 14 days unless they can provide a negative test result. That test result must come from a test performed no more than 72 hours before arrival. For every day the order is not followed, individuals could receive a fine of $500. But this order does not apply to those coming from low-risk areas like New England, except for Rhode Island. A complete list of low-risk states can be found at mass.gov/MA travel. And in a continued effort to get cases back down, Massachusetts extended its Stop the Spread testing until September 12th. Marlboro is one of the 17 communities with these testing sites. Residents in the area can receive free coronavirus testing at Marlboro Hospital, AFC Urgent Care on Boston Post Road West, and the Jarrick School. Price Chopper announced 2 of its employees tested positive for coronavirus at the end of July. The company's spokeswoman said since, the store on East Main Street has been sanitized during both business and overnight hours. The company notified any employees who could have also been exposed. The 2 positive employees and other close contact workers are under quarantine. Price Chopper is still paying those workers while they quarantine. And the next time you go to the grocery store, stay clear of onions for a little while. A national growing outbreak of salmonella reached Massachusetts. The source of the outbreak, red onions from California. The CDC reports that more than 650 people across the country got sick after eating red onion. 2 of those cases here in Massachusetts. No reported deaths, but 85 people were hospitalized. The CDC says to avoid the vegetable if you are not sure where it came from and recommends throwing away any you may have at home. Stay tuned because coming up after the break, hear how one local church is helping others miles and miles away.
I'm not on this bill by accident. I was a founding father. I was the first president. Do you know how many middle schools are named after me? I worked hard to be on this bill, and you're spending me willy-nilly. Stop spending money to smash sweets and baked goods on telephone games, and stop sending game invites to your friends. That might be even worse. Save your money.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I wasn't sure if I could do it. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but the teachers, the counselors, they help you. One of the teachers was Miss Araceli. Miss Araceli, she gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll come over and she'll sit there with you until you get it. Thank you, Ms. Araceli. I know you make a difference in people's lives because of the person and teacher you are. I wanted to be here because I wanted to thank you for helping me get a beautiful gift. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work. Getting your high school diploma, it is a life-changing experience. It really is.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Titans go! When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely. To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly.
Hollywood, here we come! The Atom has arrived!
Have a seat, my dude. For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Impressive!
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. 93 police departments in the state hold accredited status. That means these departments are among the most premier law enforcement agencies in the state. These departments are evaluated on their policies, procedures, operations, and facilities. The commission awarded Marlboro Police the status for the first time back in 2017. Next week, the department starts the evaluation process, hoping to be awarded accredited status for the second time. Westboro police seek the public's help identifying these two men. Police say the two allegedly worked together to steal a woman's wallet at the Stop and Shop on Turnpike Road. Anyone who recognizes the individuals or this silver Jeep should contact detectives at 508-475-4838. Staying in Westboro, police there reminding operators it's never a good idea to text and drive, and always a good idea to wear your seatbelt. An accident shut down one lane of traffic on Route 9 for 2 hours Tuesday night. The driver suffered minor injuries after crashing into a truck outside of Wendy's. The airbag deployed, but luckily the operator was wearing their seatbelt. And several residents in Marlboro, Hudson, and Sudbury contacted their local animal control to report a mangy fox. As calls continue to come in, local authorities want residents to know they are aware of the fox, but there's a process. A fox suffering from mange is extremely hard to catch in the early stages. Instead, animal control must wait for the fox's condition to become worse, making the animal lethargic before it can be caught and treated. In the meantime, they ask residents to consider their own safety first and never attempt to handle the fox. And on a more positive note, Southborough officers helped safely reunite this furry friend and her owners. She is blind, and officers found her wandering the area of Flag Road. After bringing her to safety, officers quickly located her owners for a happy ending. Happening in Marlboro, land that sat empty for decades could finally be home to a new solar farm. WMCT's Emily McGew breaks down the proposed project and what it would mean for Marlboro residents.
What better way to mask an unpleasant landfill than to cover it with something that is actually good for the environment? That is exactly what was proposed several years ago here in Marlboro and is finally almost underway. A solar photovoltaic overlay district is set to cover a landfill located between Route 85 and the Boston Scientific campus. Under the proposal, Marlboro receives $10 million from the vendor. This project takes 2 cents off of low-income residents' electric rate, and the solar farm will be screened as to not block the view of the Assabet River Trail and nearby homes. The 35 acres of renewable energy production provides up to 6 megawatts of power. At August 4th's Urban Affairs meeting, members approved the amended documents in order for the project to be finalized at the next meeting on August 24th.
It'll get moved to committee reports. I'll report out the vote, and we can hopefully finalize this so we can move forward.
As the world moves towards a more environmentally friendly future, Marlboro takes steps along with it. This is Emily McGew for WMCT News.
An international boarding school also coming to Marlboro in fall of 2021. New England Innovation Academy starts recruiting students in the surrounding area this September. The school serves grades 6 to 12 with a focus on human-centered design. For more information, visit neiacademy.org. Happening overseas in Lebanon, hundreds of thousands of people are dealing with the devastating aftermath of a massive explosion at the port of Beirut. Here's how one church in Marlborough is supporting those relief efforts.
Pray and pay.
Seas apart, but First Church in Marlborough doing their part to help individuals so far away.
We hope that this will, be a small drop in the bucket to help.
At least 200 dead and 5,000 others injured in Lebanon after a massive explosion at the port of Beirut. It caused extensive damage to the capital city, who more than 2 million people call home.
I mean, imagine that 90% of hotels are destroyed, your main source of income. And 300,000 people, they're saying that they're displaced temporarily.
The explosion that followed the initial blast caught on camera. Windows as far as 5 miles from the blast site completely blown out, and some heard the blast almost 125 miles away. First Church collecting money to donate directly to Beirut relief efforts.
So whatever you donate is going to go towards the people in need in Beirut and in the area, regardless of their religion.
First Church holds connections to churches in the area almost as old as 200 years. The money raised goes to those churches that have been offering aid to locals and refugees.
It's going to go towards the people who've been there and, who can be helped.
First Church matching donations of up to $250. To donate, visit firstchurchmarlborough.org. In downtown Marlborough, Megan Parsons, WMCT News. And you don't want to miss this. Coming up after the break, hear how one Marlborough resident saved a man's life just by being in the right place at the right time.
Hi, Aaron. Show me what it looks like to run like a girl.
My hair.
Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl. Now throw like a girl.
Aw.
So do you think you just insulted your sister?
No. I mean, yeah, insulted girls, but not my sister.
My name is Dakota, and I'm 10 years old.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Throw like a girl. Fight like a girl. What does it mean to you when I say run like a girl?
It means run fast as you can.
Attention travelers. Next Tuesday, a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Food, water, and phone service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Welcome back. In sports this week, the Marlborough Senior Babe Ruth team took the field against Medway. They needed just one more win to advance to this weekend's Central Mass Championship. Here's WMCT's Matt Pasaccio to break down the action.
Coming into Game 2 of this semifinal contest, Marlborough needed just one more W to advance to the Senior Babe Ruth final for a third straight year. In the first, they would get on the board with a couple of runs. After a double, single, and stolen base to put runners in scoring position, Cam Hunt gets good wood on this fastball and shoots it back up the middle for a base knock. Federico and Dawes come in, and it's 2-0 after a half inning. On the other side, Jake Naples got the start for Marlborough, and he absolutely dominated over the first 3 frames. In the first, he had the curveball working for him as he gets the first 2 batters looking. In the second, he blows the fastball past Benamero. And in the third, it's more of the same. He freezes Ryan Abbott with the breaking ball, and the next batter is Kyle Sylvester, and he swings and misses to end the inning. In the top of the fourth, with a runner already in and a runner at second, Maples comes up and does his job as he pokes a single to center. Gale scores, and it's 4-0. Later in their turn at bat, Austin Hunt hits him where they aim. This one falls between the second baseman and center fielder. Maples scores, and it's 5-0 after 3.5. Medway, however, wouldn't go away quietly. With the score 5-2 in the bottom of the fifth, the home team would put runners at first and second with Matt Childs at the dish, and he strokes this one deep to left center. The relay play to the plate is much too late as both runners score, and just like that, it was 5-4 after 5. But Marlboro would answer in the sixth. With runners at first and second, Matt Skillings delivers the knockout blow with this single to right. Gale comes in to score easily from second. The catcher tries to catch Skillings in a pickle, but forgets about Naple, who breaks for home. That mental error gave Marlboro a 7-4 lead. And in the bottom of the seventh, Medway has a man at first trying to make a comeback, but the runner gets caught off the bag as he's doubled up, ending the threat. Marlboro wins 7-4 and advances to the finals.
Turning now to the tropical storm that left damage all across the Metro West area last week.
The calm after the storm, but many homeowners here in Marlboro still left without power or a big mess in their yards. But luckily, today's beautiful weather, totally opposite than yesterday and perfect for yard cleanup. Isaias moved through Massachusetts, leaving behind a huge mess. The tropical storm made its way up the East Coast, bringing with it strong gusts of wind. That wind started just after 2 o'clock in Marlboro, followed by heavy rain. Most parts of the state spent the early night under a tornado warning. The wind took down trees all over the city. A very close call for one Marlboro resident where a fallen tree just missed her back deck. Sites similar to these seen in communities all across the state. National Grid reports that more than 5,000 customers in Marlboro and the surrounding area lost power. Power turned on for many as early as 5 this morning, but more than 800 customers are going on 18 hours without power. The storm's damage even interrupted a morning walk for some on the rail trail. In Marlboro, Megan Parsons, WMCT News.
But don't worry, no tropical storms on the radar for this weekend. And if you're looking for something to do outdoors, here is WMCT's Emily McGue with the best Cider Knoll Conservation has to offer.
The Cider Knoll Conservation Land is quite a lively and radiant area to visit. Some of the entrances are located at 691 and 689 Stowe Road in Marlboro, and it offers 108 acres of land with 1.6 miles of trails to follow. The Cider Knoll Conservation Land, or as some people call it Uncle Dave's Bench, offers so many aspects to be enchanted by. Upon entering the trail from 689 Stowe Road, there is a large and bustling community garden filled with vibrant colored fruits, vegetables, flowers, and plenty of other plants. It is quite refreshing to take a stroll through the garden or to rent an area for your family to grow anything you please. Past the community garden, there is a little meadow full of wildflowers and dragonflies to pass through. The hardwood forest on the other side of the meadow offers an extraordinarily pleasing walk. A trail to the right will bring you to Uncle Dave's Bench and a view of the pond, which is sometimes full of lilies and always full of wildlife like ducks, frogs, beavers, amongst many other animals. Down the path from the bench is a beaver lodge, and a little further down is their dam where you can admire their handiwork. Make sure to come explore the area to brighten any day. From the Cider Knoll Conservation Land, this is Emily McGue for WMCT News.
And now, a story of perfect timing that saved a local man's life.
She happened to be in the right place at the right time. Driving down Concord Road, Anne-Marie Martel saw a car pulled over with all its doors open. That's when she stopped and asked if anyone needed help. She found a 53-year-old man on the grass suffering from a heart attack. Martel is a nurse of 22 years and jumped to help. As they waited for the ambulance to arrive, Martel performed CPR on the man, who she said didn't have a pulse. At the hospital, the cardiologist told the man's wife The early CPR is most likely the reason he is still alive. Martell said the wife reached out to her just a few hours later, thanking her for saving her husband's life. In Marlboro, Megan Parsons, WMCT News.
That's all for this newscast. Make sure to stay tuned to WMCT for local coverage on all the things happening in your backyard. For WMCT, I'm Megan Parsons. Enjoy your weekend.